welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Journal presented by the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. This show is for April. We want to talk about the wonderful world of movies with a segment we like to call Popcorn Previews. Take it away, Jay.
This month we have 4 movies for your perusal. We've got, first of all, The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh.
Now, this is the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which came out a few years ago.
Yep, which was pretty
and stars Andy Serkis, who I think is one of the best makeup actors we've got.
Yep.
He is just fabulous.
Wait a minute,
For those of you who don't know him, he played Gollum in Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit series. And he plays Caesar in Planet of the Apes. It also stars Jason Clarke and Gary Oldman. And this story picks up 10 years after the last film, where humanity has been decimated by the virus that made its appearance in the first film. And they need the help or the assistance of the apes, and an uneasy truce follows, but it's soon broken. And that's the basic premise of the story. So let's see that beautiful bean footage.
Ooh, monkeys.
We've been through hell together. We spent 4 years. 4 years! Fighting that virus and then another 4 fighting each other. It was chaos. But you all know what we're up against.
I need to speak to Caesar!
And I want you to know, it's not just about power, it's about giving us the hope to rebuild and reclaim the world we lost.
That's scary stuff.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Oh,
cool.
man, I was creeped out by the first one. After, oh, man. Yeah.
No kidding.
The only thing that was good about that movie was the Harry Potter dude that bought it because he was mean to those guys, But anyway,
Can't have a movie without Gary Oldman as your villain.
that's right.
And the Harry Potter dude's name is
Tom Felton.
Tom Felton.
Yeah. He's
Who
got
James
a picture.
met.
James has a picture of him.
That's right. Next, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, and this stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Dave Bautista, and tells the story of 5 miscreants, for lack of a better word,
Rogues.
have to somehow band together
Yes.
to save the galaxy from the actions of a super evil crime lord and the power of a mysterious orb. So let's take a look at that.
Now!
Yeah, hey, cool, man. No problem. No problem at all.
Who are you?
Star-Lord.
Who?
Well, Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Forget it.
We arrested these 5 on Xandar. Check out the rap sheets. Drax, aka the Destroyer. Since his wife and family were killed, he's been on a rampage across the galaxy in his search for vengeance. Gamora, soldier, assassin, wanted on over a dozen counts of murder. Rocket, wanted on over 50 charges of vehicular theft and escape from lockup.
What the hell?
Groot, been traveling recently as Rocket's personal houseplant / muscle. Peter Jason Quill. He's also known as Star-Lord.
Who calls him that?
Himself, mostly. He's wanted largely on charges of minor assault, public intoxication, and fraud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
Hey, that's mine. You son of a... Hey, take those headphones off right now!
Themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling.
This movie's so whacked out. This is going to be so much fun, I think. And now Free Comic Book Day, which is coming up next month in May. I think Marvel's got a promo book
Yes,
for
but-
Guardians of the Galaxy. You're going to talk about that later. But
Yep.
yeah, that should be a lot of fun. And Vin Diesel is the voice of Groot,
Yep, he's the voice and the
tree dude.
the body motion capture for
Yep.
Groot.
Yep.
And he's going to rock the I am Groot.
And Bradley,
Nice.
was it Bradley Cooper?
Bradley
is
Cooper.
is the voice of the raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon. What
No,
a great
Rocket.
character. Rocket. Yeah.
They're so-
I want a McDonald's action figure of Rocket Raccoon. Yes, I do. All right.
With or without the automatic machine guns.
With and the Shamrock Shake. Okay. No,
Okay,
those.
moving right along. Next, we've got Transformers: Age of Extinction, starring Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, all right.
He's taking over the series now in
All right.
place of
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. And this one tells the story of the continuing saga of the Transformers and how their presence has been affecting the people of the planet Earth.
Wow. Okay.
And once again, it's all-out war, and it just it looks intense.
And this one has Dinobots.
Ooh.
That's right.
Grimlock-like.
Yep.
Yep. So let's take a look at that footage and see what you think.
Bring it up. All the way.
Dad, you can't keep spending money on junk.
I can break it down, strip it for parts. This stuff is what's gonna put you through college. Something in here needs to make this family some money. Come on, you old wreck. Judgment Day. What the hell happened to you?
Look, it's not normal steel.
I don't think it's a truck at all. I think we just found a transformer.
I'm gonna ask you this once. Where is Optimus Prime?
You know, we got a rule about messing with people from Texas.
A new era has begun. The age of the Transformers is over.
Don't you get it? We don't need you anymore.
Shouldn't have come after my family.
I know.
Okay, and this last one came out of nowhere.
It did?
Literally came out of nowhere. I have no idea
Where it
anything.
came from.
Huh?
So how did you get it?
I got it because it was on my list of films.
That's right, because he is the movie guru for Sci-Fi
Well,
Journal.
I would
We
say
got
guru.
connections. Yes.
Yeah, well.
No, he's got a web address.
For my connections, I have I have no synopsis available for this film. All I can tell you is that it's called Under the Skin, stars Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
And it's rated R.
Uh-oh.
And it's out as we are showing this segment, or
Yep.
as we're showing the this episode. It is out in theaters now. And my best guess is that she is an android who is kind of hell-bent on destruction.
All right. You know something more about this?
The synopsis, grapevine rumor I heard is that she's a alien possessing a female human that cannibalizes men.
Ooh.
Ah, okay.
So that's a rumor, so it could be wrong.
Well, hey, either way, take a
But
look at the preview and see for yourself if you want to see the movie.
So you live alone?
Yes.
You think I'm pretty?
I know, gorgeous.
Come to me. When was the last time you touched someone? You don't want to wake up, do you?
I don't think she's going to have too many skin-tight outfit roles too
She
longer.
looks good in the film.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's all
She
we need
looks
to
real
say.
good in the film.
She looks great for Captain America. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that's all I've got for popcorn previews for the month of April. Well, as you know, we went to TempleCon, and here we've got the last few segments for your viewing pleasure. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm here with Jessica, and Jessica makes some very unique dolls that she sells. And Jessica, would you mind explaining, telling us a little bit about them?
Well, they're just basically dolls celebrating different fandoms, people who are really excited about a TV show or a book or anything that they love. So we have Doctor Who and Avengers and Firefly and pretty much anything that you can think of we'll make for you.
That's really cool. Now, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing this for 3 years now.
3 years?
Yes.
Okay. And what got you started in that field?
Well, I used to work in publishing, and I realized that there were just so many people who were excited about things that they read and see, and I wanted to be a part of it and decided to see if I could do something that would celebrate my personal fandoms too. And it just happened that way.
That's really great. Now, I mean, this seems like the kind of thing that's, I guess, would you call it a cottage industry?
Yeah, I think that's probably a great term for it. It's relatively small, but it's people love it. When people get really excited about something, they're willing to just go above and beyond to show how excited they are.
That's great. Now, for people who aren't here at the show, how can we get a hold of you?
I am right online at geekyandcheeky.com.
Okay, and can people just get a hold of you and request a certain character that they want?
We have an online store that has the ones we've already done, but we also take custom orders for anything that you want.
That's really great. Really great work, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Great, thanks. You too.
I'm here with Jennifer Pelland, an author here in the New England area. Tell me, what's some of the books you've written?
I have a novel. It's called Machine, which I'm going to be reading from later today, which is a near-future novel about body modification and identity. I have a short story collection, Unwelcome Bodies, which is got the first story I ever lost a Nebula award for. I've lost twice. I'm a double Nebula loser. And that story's called Captive Girl, and there's many others in there as well. Again, machine-human interface thing. And then I am in the Dark Faith Invocations anthology. These are all from Apex, and that is all about faith and faithlessness and very interesting interpretations of what it means to have faith or not have faith, all with a horror twist. So, although the latest thing I published is in the Glitter and Mayhem anthology, which was much sillier than any of this, where I wrote a story about a belly dancing alien in a roller rink.
That sounds very entertaining.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing was about the anthology is about the secret party life of the 20th century with a heavy influence on drugs and roller skating. There's, I think, 3 or 4 roller derby stories in it. Most of them involve aliens.
Cool. So is this cybernetics or?
Well, Machine is actually about living in replacement bodies, but some of the people in that actually hybridize their flesh bodies. So that's actually not as much cyberpunk as sort of the offshoot of I can't remember what the hell they call it. They tell me what my labels are. I don't put them on. But because I have a lot of friends in the transgender community, I also deal with issues of identity and body ownership and what you're allowed to do with your body. Some particular, actually, someone I didn't know, someone who was in the audience, a trans woman said when I was on a panel that the thing she liked about that machine is that it is about how you don't own what you get to do to your body, which is very resonant apparently in the transgender community, or at least those who read the book, which was not my intent at all, but I love that I got that right.
Great. And you've been part of the fandom here in New England. I've seen you at many conventions before.
Yeah, my first convention was the infamous BosCon that got it kicked out of Boston.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to conventions, so that was nuts, which was great. And then I started going to more little local ones that were fandom oriented. So I went to one, I think it was also called RebelCon down in Texas, where I met Terry Nation. And I was this 18-year-old adorable thing in a mini dress. And I'm pathetic 40-something-year-old in a mini dress. That's okay. That's a convention. And I'd go to these little ones that were all very, fandom related before coming back to these more general ones, which was fun. So I would go down to Baltimore fairly regularly too for Farpoint and Shore Leave.
I've been to Regia many years, and I've never really run into you at Regia because I know there's so many people there. But I'm glad I was able to see you here at TempleCon. Thank you for the interview.
Oh, happy to do so.
And now, Marc Morisseau with our favorite television segment, Toob News. Take it away, Marc.
Thank you. Wait a minute. That's the only television segment.
Shut up.
Oh, okay. I'll do it now. All right. Put on my spectacles. Here we go. Entertainment One Television and De Laurentiis Company are developing a series based on author Frederik Pohl's 1977 novel Gateway.
Yay.
Set on an abandoned alien space station that has since been taken over by humans. The novel has won a Hugo, a Locus, a Nebula, and the John W. Campbell Memorial Award. No word yet on the network or when production will begin. So we got some more space opera hard SF coming our way.
Yeah.
Which is neat. I like that idea.
Yeah, and we
That's
just
cool.
featured Frederick Pohl recently because he passed away.
Yep.
And we had all of the books that I have from my library. And so that's great to see that his work is getting...
And let's hope they do that with more hard science fiction.
Nice to see him getting recognized for a change.
Exactly. Okay. The producers of the CW's upcoming new series Flash have given us a preview of actor Grant Gustin in his new Flash costume. Want to see it?
Sure.
Want to see it again?
No.
And as we speak, we'll show the little segment up there, the little picture for you. It's pretty cool. The costume was created by Academy Award-winning costume designer Colleen Atwood. And she did a good job. It's the red suit, obviously. He's instead of the yellow boots, it's red boots, like the original CBS series, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And usually the Flash has a white background where the logo is.
With the
Yellow lightning
It's got the
bolt,
yellow
yeah.
lightning bolt with the white. Well, his is a yellow lightning bolt. I think it's like a red or something. And he's got a little bit different, but it's pretty neat.
It's very muted in terms of the red color. It's,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not
all the superhero costumes lately have all been kind of muted colors and not very bright.
Right.
I did like the original one that was made for the old Flash with John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
You know, this one looks okay. We'll see.
The one with
how it
John
looks.
Wesley Shipp had more of a felt type.
Yeah,
appearance.
that was like molded bodysuit
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
yeah.
And they're using the muted colors to actually make it look more edgy.
Right, yeah, and make it more realistic because, like in reality, if he had yellow boots, I think he looked kind of goofy. He was running around.
But I mean, if you've watched Arrow, which they introduced Grant Gustin on as Barry Allen, that whole show too is very dark, and so they're still just kind of going with that kind of, you know, that way they don't have to light it as much.
Right.
You know, if it's brighter color, then they have to light it more, which they don't want to do.
Right.
It costs more money.
I like what DC is doing with Arrow, and I think they'll do this.
Well, yeah,
Flash,
the show's great.
Yeah, this Flash series is supposed to be more science fiction than
Yeah.
Arrow is, but still pretty interesting. So we'll check it out. So there's the picture. There it goes. Orphan Black returns to BBC America for season 2 on Saturday, April 14th at 9 p.m. If you've not seen Orphan Black, you have to see Orphan Black.
You've been living under a rock.
Oh my goodness. And if you don't have BBC America, you can get it on Netflix, or you can actually buy season 1. If you have it.
On
Tatiana
iTunes.
Maslany was totally passed over last year for an award. Oh,
That's a shame.
She plays 9 different clones or characters in this series, and every single one is different. You would think that it's 9 different people. That's how well she does in this role. Fantastic stuff. So Orphan Black's coming back.
Yes.
Do you like the Big Bang Theory?
Yep.
Good, because we're getting 3 more seasons of the Big Bang Theory. CBS has green-lighted 3 more seasons, making it a total of 10 seasons of Sheldon and Howard and all these other, Raj and all these other dudes. You're not too pleased.
No, my balloon was totally deflated when I found out they're not true geeks. They don't even read comic books, so it's like,
Of course they. We mean they don't read comic books.
They're
They're at the
actors.
comic book
They're
shop
actors.
every week.
No, they're actors, and
Oh, you
they're
mean in
not
real
true.
life?
In real life, they're not true geeks, and it's like if you're gonna.
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry. If you're gonna get someone to play a geek, get a geek.
Well, wait a minute. That's why it's called acting. You don't necessarily have to be the person. You just make believe you're the person.
But they're popping too many fan balloons with, you know,
Yeah,
not
some
being
people
a geek.
complain that they're making more fun of the nerds and geeks than actually being, you know, nerds and geeks themselves. So that, you know, I mean, even though I find the show very funny, and I've known people like those characters.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Right? So, I mean,
And
for
we
me,
do.
it is
And
a
we
poke
do,
at,
yes, okay.
It is a poke at reality, you know?
Yeah, okay.
But then some people, oh no, don't use that Blake Shelton.
We don't want to lose.
You know, but some people don't care for the show because they get offended by it.
Well, personally, those people need to get a life. It's just parody. That's all it is. Have some fun.
Well, it's kind of like why my wife Sue won't watch Glee anymore because she discovered the kid in the wheelchair isn't actually belong in the wheelchair.
Right. So, because they have had scenes where he walks and dances and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, I think that's one of the things why they hired him was so that they could have that option of him not being in the wheelchair.
Right.
You know, but some of the episodes that with him, Arnie in it has been really great because it deals with, you know, some of those emotional issues of being in a wheelchair. And he wasn't, I don't think he was born that way. I think it was an accident.
It was an accident, yeah.
Right. And that's something that some people deal with. You know, there's a lot of post-traumatic stress kind of thing. So
Understandable.
We digress.
Well, we digress.
Yeah.
So Big Bang Theory, 3 more seasons coming your way. Sci-Fi Channel's version of Being Human is coming to an end after 4 seasons. The last episode aired on Monday, April 7th. That's a show I never watched. I watched the first couple of episodes, but then there were so many other things going on, I never really stayed with it. I don't know if anybody else had a chance to watch it.
The BBC version was much better.
Yeah,
the first couple of seasons was much better.
Version. I followed the BBC version to its entirety.
Yeah.
It was really good.
But this one's been pretty good, and I think the way they're ending it is great.
Yeah, it might be something I'll pick up as a rental or something later. Or
Yeah, it's good to
Netflix or
check out.
whatever they do. Okay, and last but not least, Gate World is reporting that the unfilmed Stargate Atlantis film Extinction could finally be released in comic book form via a 4-issue limited series through Boom Studios.
Wow, Boom's picking up Stargate again.
They're picking up Stargate again.
All right.
The project was listed on the comic company's long look release schedule with a bit of info, though it has since been pulled. It was originally supposed to be a live-action straight-to-DVD release, but that fell through. Didn't happen. So instead, they're going to be releasing it as a 4-issue comic series. So if you're a fan of Stargate Atlantis and you want to know how the series ended or how it finished up, that's the comic book series to go to, which I think is a good idea because a lot of these series, like Farscape and some others, they don't. All the actors and actresses have gone their own ways. So there's no real way of getting them back together. If you do it through comics, it works just fine.
But you just mentioned Farscape.
I did.
They're making a movie, aren't they making a movie?
They're making a movie based on Farscape.
So things are kind of coming back together.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But, you know, just to help
Knock on wood.
conclude it past that Peacekeepers War one, which didn't have a happy ending.
No, it didn't. But,
No,
but I love Farscape. That's an awesome series.
Oh, that is sorely missed. That was hardcore sci-fi.
Yep, it sure was. Okay, and that's all I have this month for Tube News. Let's move on to the wonderful world of comics and something we like to call cover to cover. Take it away, Everett.
Let me bring up my
What's
notes
your
here.
fancy schmancy Samsung Android Galaxy tablet? Excusez-moi.
Well, hey,
At least I have it
I
where
do. I like my tablet.
I like the weird noises it makes. Okay. Free Comic Book Day is upon us, and we are now at the point where comic book companies like Marvel and DC are using this as a great gateway to get you into not only comic books, but into their movies and shows. So on Free Comic Book Day, Captain America Winter Soldier is supposed to be, no, that's in April, I'm sorry, let me roll that back. I believe it's Spider-Man's coming out for Free Comic Book Day. So Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to be out. They can edit that part out, right? Okay.
We can edit
anything out.
You'd be surprised.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 will be out on Free Comic Book Day. But it's also a great way to get kids interested in the field of comic books once again. And there are some great rules depending on the comic book place you go to. You can pick up a wide range, but keep in mind that the comic book shops have to pay for these books. So don't get greedy. If you're going to go, get one. But certain comic book places use this as a great way of celebration. What's on the agenda for DC is called Future Breakdown. It's a 0-issue to their new 52 line where a new book is going to be released every week for 52 weeks. And it's their way of introducing Batman Beyond's Terry Guinness Batman into the new,
Jay likes that.
Yeah,
Batman
you're going to
Beyond.
love that one because it's going to be, you remember a while back there was a storyline where Batman created a satellite called Brother Eye?
Yep.
The OMAC War series?
I had
well,
that one.
This one takes place in a future where the Brother Eye satellite and OMAC won. And so now they're going to be fighting, the DC cyborgs are going to be fighting Terry McGinnis's Batman. And he has to go back into time and to stop this from happening. So it's going to basically, also rumors are is that this is going to tie into DC's Infinite Crisis multiplayer online game. They're going to be introducing characters and worlds for this. So that's a rumor. We're all keeping our fingers crossed on that one. Now, Marvel is going to be using Free Comic Book Day to introduce 2 new characters to the Guardians of the Galaxy comic book. They're going to use the Venom symbiote, which Flash Thompson is wearing right now, and Captain Marvel into the team of the Guardians of the
I didn't know there was
Galaxy.
a Venom character in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, they're introducing the symbiote, the Earth Venom, into that. They're going to be part of the Guardians of the Galaxy now. And they're also going to be hinting or giving a couple of pages of the new crossover for what's going to be happening with Spider-Man. So there's a big storyline after the Ultimate Power Spider-Man, where Dr. Octopus was possessing Peter's body.
I never followed that.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Some people say Doc Ock's Spidey was better than Peter Parker.
It was very well written. It had some great dialogue, and he had minions, lots of minions.
Oh, I love minions. The little yellow guys that look like, not those minions.
No, not
Never
those
mind.
minions. No, that's copyright.
Right.
And they're going to use that to introduce the new storyline for that. Now, Dark Horse is going to be utilizing one of their not well-so-known franchises. Now that Star Wars is going away, they're going to be working with Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're going to use that as their flagship for their new Free Comic Book Day book. And they're going to basically also do some great short stories in there. But it follows Sokka and Suki on an adventure where Suki is teaching manners to a young female warrior.
Yep.
Okay, and it introduces the characters, and they're hoping to launch the comic book series off of Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, interesting.
Now, the last one on the agenda is from, you guys might have heard of this, Valiant, way back when, Valiant comic books.
Yeah.
Valiant has re-energized their comic book line, and you'll see some familiar characters like Bloodspot and Exo Man of War and Solar. Jim Shooter's writing Solar. But now they're going to use that, Free Comic Book Day, to launch the Armor Wars, the Armor Hunters, where there's a group of aliens that come to Earth and they're hunting the Exo Man of War armor on Earth because of what the alien empire did with their Exo Man of War class suits. So they have to fight to keep the suit in one piece. But there's also going to be an introduction of a new Exo Man of War suit. So can't wait to see how that happens, and it's going to introduce the crossover, and this is going to be a crossover for all the Valiant titles.
Interesting.
And you can see the cover artwork at freecomicbookday.com.
Yep. And we'll be covering Free Comic Book Day, so we go to different shops and such.
Oh, which shops? Well, Ernie's Friendly Neighborhood Comics up in Bellingham.
Shameless plug number one.
Shameless plug number one. Seller Comics, the Comic Book Doctor.
Shameless plug number two.
2 and 3.
Yep.
So if you get a chance, go out, grab the kids. Some comic book dealers actually have a great way of celebrating this.
Yep.
Lots of people showing up in costume and cosplays.
Yep, we go to Time Capsule Comics, the Seekonk and Cranston stores. We go to Rod Coco's in Providence.
Great.
We get that one too. So
Shameless plugs 4 and 5.
5.
Yep,
We're going to
4
get
and
it up
5.
to 10. So.
Yep. So take a look at that website. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And if you're lucky, maybe they'll have some leftover hardcover copies of Mouse Guard Free Comic Book Day. Which was
what a good book that
Yeah,
is.
that. If you ever get a chance, if the comic book dealer still has the hardcover Free Comic Book Day, pick it up because it's an original story by the guy who does Mouse Guard.
Right.
I love it because of the artwork and the storyline. But if you get a chance, pick up the book if you can find it. I got it. It's cherished. I have it autographed. It's not going anywhere.
Now, HeroClix usually puts out a little figure for Free Comic Book Day. Are they doing the same this year? Do you know?
I have not heard.
They did an Iron Man last year.
They did an Iron Patriot from Iron Man 3.
Yep.
However, they're not saying who they have the license or what they're putting out just yet.
Okay. All right, that's cool. What else you got for comic books like that?
Okay, comic books. Let's see what else is coming out for comic books. Is that, oh gosh, why are we running short on this one?
No.
Okay.
I'm just asking.
It's just asking. Okay. Well, Rhode Island Comic Con is coming up this year. Also, Anime Boston. Let's see here. For the Avatar title, just to make sure people know, the writer for the New 52 Futures End is going to be Brian Anzarelli, and Ethan Van Sciver is going to be doing the artwork for it. Now, people might know Ethan Van Sciver from last Comic Book Day's Darkest Night crossover event that came up. And also the artist and writer for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Nick Bradshaw is going to be doing the artwork, and Brian Michael Bendis is doing the writing for
Nice.
this.
So it'll be really good.
Right. So Brian Michael Bendis is not only one of the executive producers to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he's still doing some really heavy-duty writing work. So big stuff coming out of Marvel, so we're keeping our fingers crossed on that one.
That's great. Sounds good. All right. Thank you very much, Everett. Now,
Yay!
All right. Next up, we have some more footage from, was it Rhode Island Comic Con?
Rhode Island Comic
Yeah, we have
Con.
some leftover Rhode Island Comic Con footage from last November that we want you to take a look at. So check it out.
We are here talking with a man who you must recognize. Some of the most iconic films of the 80s and some of my favorite all-time films. You might remember him as the Principal Gerard, if I remember correctly, in Hill Valley, the Hill Valley High School from Back to the Future. Also as a detective in Masters of the Universe. And my favorite, Captain Stinger in Top Gun. This is James Tolkan. James, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here. Thank you.
How are you enjoying Rhode Island Comic Con so far?
It's really busy. It's as much fun as one of these things could be. We're just getting started here today, but yesterday was fantastic.
Okay, so now I'm going to go all geek and talk a little bit about Top Gun. How was it filming that along with Tom Cruise and Tony Scott, I should say?
Yeah. Well, that was about 26 years ago, and it's the only movie I've ever been in where everybody felt it was going to be a success from day one, and it was great. It was Tom Cruise at the beginning of his career. All the actors were just having a great time, and Tony Scott was fabulous. We were on the USS Enterprise filming. It was a very special experience, I must say.
Now, you've had a career that has spanned decades. You started in the 60s, if I remember correctly.
Well, I'm a New York actor. I'm a theater actor. Most of my experience has been on the stage, and that's where I'm really most comfortable. And I said I'm never going to Hollywood until Hollywood sends for me. And then in 1984, I was doing David Mamet's play on Broadway, Glenn Ross, which won the Pulitzer Prize. And then Robert Zemeckis called. I didn't know who he was, to come to do Back to the Future. I said, okay, this is my chance to go to Hollywood. So I went out to do Back to the Future and then Top Gun and TV series. I stayed out there about 10 years doing all kinds of stuff, having a real good time, sometimes too good a time. And I'm retired now, living up in Lake Placid and really enjoying life.
Lake Placid is an absolutely beautiful area. If you get to go, you should go someday. So you were recently, you were talking about you directed a play?
I recently directed Our Town at the Lake Placid Center for the Arts, and it was a very satisfying experience, I must say. I enjoyed it. It's something I should have been doing years before this.
All right, one last question. I have to do this for our sci-fi fans. Now, Masters of the Universe, when it came out, it was kind of like one of those, all right, it was critically panned. But in the years following, it's gained a cult classic as, cult status. And a lot of people kind of look on it fondly. Do you have any recollections of doing that movie?
Well, it was it was one of those movies. I mean, we were filming all in the night filming in Whittier, California. And when you do night filming, it seems after about a week or so, you go into like a twilight zone, and it's hard to tell what's real and what isn't real. And it was just a lot of fun. And there is a following. I'm amazed. People really love that film. So it's just one of those things.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
Okay, there are many artists over here at Rhode Island Comic Con, and they're not just comic book artists, and this one really drew me in particular to some of the stuff that she's doing. We're in the booth of The Art of Meg, and I am speaking with, guess who? Meg, say hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
So I see that you're primarily into Pokemon, which, especially old school Pokemon, which is really, really cool. I mean, I understand Pokemon XY has come out, and then, my wife still plays on a regular basis, but there's nothing like the classics, Pikachu, Squirrel, and stuff. So I'm assuming you're a big Pokemon fan. So why don't you talk a little bit about that and some of the stuff that you do as art?
Sure. Well, so yes, I'm into Pokemon. Who isn't? I just started doing a lot of merchandise last week, actually, with Pokemon. So what I'm starting to do is I have the original starters and merchandise, and I'm going to be making postcards. And then eventually, over time, I'm going to be doing all of the starters for all of the games. Right now, so I have the first starters, and then I have the last starters of this new game that just came out, X and Y. So I have them as pins and DS charms and everything. So we have a really cool Pokemon community here.
But what really drew me to your table is that you also seem to be into cats. Now, who doesn't love cats? But more specifically, we have Marvel superheroes as cats. And they're really, really well done. So talk a little bit of how you got into that.
It's mainly, I'm from Boston, and I'm also a cat owner, and we have a festival up there that's a cat festival. So, of course, I had to go to that, and the only way that I could bring the two together is with superheroes and Doctor Who. So I watercolor a lot. That's my main sort of source of medium is watercoloring. So I watercolored, and I had them hanging up in a gallery just recently, too, and they sold. So I do have the postcards here. We have Captain Marvel, Wolverine, Hawkeye. So, I mean, I'm a huge Marvel fan. So that's that.
So if I remember correctly, talking with you yesterday, this is your first Comic Con here in Rhode Island and your second one overall.
Yep.
You having fun so far?
Oh my gosh, Rhode Island has welcomed me with open arms. Everybody has been so awesome here, and yeah, things are just going up and up and up. This is only my second con, and I'm hoping that I can do it again next year. So yeah.
Okay, and so if people are interested in looking at your stuff and maybe getting stuff from you, I know you have a website, and where can they go?
It's theartofmeg.com, and then I also have an email address, theartofmeg@gmail.com, and I do commissions, and I have an Etsy store that's linked to my website. So yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us.
No problem, thank you.
All right, and now it's time for news about the wonderful world of anime and Harry Potter and other cool stuff with a segment we like to call Anime Daisuki. Take it away, James.
Hey, all right. So for Anime Daisuki this month, I have a few things here. G-Kids is going to be releasing Studio Ghibli's The Tale of Princess Kaguya. It's directed by Isao Takahata. He's one of the other directors from Ghibli Studios, Studio Ghibli. And so that's going to be out here in the U.S. Coming up this year. And also news from Studio Ghibli, Toshio Suzuki, the producer, he's been the producer for all these films over the years. He's finally announced his retirement. So along with Hayao Miyazaki, whose last film, The Wind Rises, is his last. So they're both going to be retiring.
Anime just got a little bit sadder.
Yeah, but still, Isao Takahata is still there. Goro Miyazaki is still there, and of course they're going to be working on new projects. And we'll announce those as they come along. Let's see. The film for Tiger and Bunny, the movie, The Rising, had some screenings here in the North America continent in March. They keep doing these types of screenings of anime, but very few cities and locations. So Boston didn't have it this year, but hopefully they'll be doing more of these kinds of things. And sometimes I find these out a little too late, but. So Tiger and Bunny, the movie, it's not what it sounds like, Tiger and Bunny. It's actually sort of a mecha type story.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, these two guys who operate these mecha suits.
A bunny mech?
So it's not Tiger and Bunny, it's Tiger and Bunny.
Yeah, I mean, he's got these ear things on it, so he looks kind of like, it's bunny-like, but it's mecha.
Great. Now that you mention that, because I work with pre-K kids, all I've got is the Little Bunny Foo-Foo song stuck in my head. Thank you. Okay.
Right.
But Bunny Foo-Foo has carrot missiles now.
So, Sony Pictures has been working with Madhouse, the anime production company, to produce Marvel's Avengers Confidential with a Black Widow and a Punisher.
But they're not telling anybody.
Yeah. So with the Black Widow and Punisher anime, and it's going to be on DVD and Blu-ray release. And they've been doing some other things, this past several years with Wolverine and things like that. Stuff you can catch now online or on various places, or get the DVDs. So hopefully they'll do more of these kinds of things. They all look pretty good. These anime Marvel movies. Let's see. On Toonami, they just started Blue Exorcist, which is pretty interesting. A young boy who was raised by a priest turns out to be the son of the devil or the demon.
Well, that went wrong quickly. All right.
Right.
That just goes right downhill.
Instead of though following in his father's footsteps,
right,
he becomes an exorcist to eventually, battle these demons and things like that. So, because part of it is because he was raised by this priest as the son.
Right.
And he has a brother who was also adopted. He's also an exorcist. And so they're kind of working and learning together. So it just started on Toonami back in March. Also coming out on Toonami is Black Lagoon, which I haven't seen before. So I'm going to be catching that. Part of what happened is some of the series that they've had running, like Soul Eater, just finished. And then they, the rights to Inuyasha, they lost the rights to that. They haven't renewed it, so they're replacing it with a new show.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so Symbionic Titan is coming back to Toonami, which I saw very few episodes, but they look really cool. I really enjoy watching that.
Oh, that was
and they still have Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood playing, Naruto Shippuden and Naruto, both uncut versions, dubbed, and I've been enjoying that too. And so we'll just keep an eye on. But Toonami's been lots of fun.
Okay.
And then Miyazaki's The Wind Rises has made over a grand total of $3,300,000 and is now number 10 in the American box office among anime films in the U.S. and was nominated for an Oscar for animated film, if you saw the Oscars.
Which I did not. I didn't watch the Oscars.
You might as well just hand the award to Miyazaki.
Yeah, it's like, how many
but it's been doing really well in the U.S., and it's catching up to, what was the other film? Howl's Moving Castle, in terms of money made.
That was fun. I like that.
Yeah, it's already surpassed Princess Mononoke. So, again, I think, it's a great film, so if you can catch it, go ahead and check it out.
Are they making a musical of Princess Mononoke?
Not that I don't know.
Oh, that was a weird rumor I heard.
Yeah.
So
hey, if they can make a musical based on Flashdance, who knows what they can do.
So, I'd like to talk about an author that passed away recently, Aaron Allston. He was at a convention in Missouri when he passed away, and he's been a regular at Dragon Con and other conventions. He wrote a bunch of the X-Wing novels for the Star Wars universe.
Oh, all right.
Right, and I've got some of those here in the front, and I've really enjoyed them. He's got great humor, created a lot of great characters. The Wraith Squadron, to go along with Rogue Squadron of X-Wing pilots. They're like a mercenary / special forces group. They have very unique abilities, have really helped, kind of continue the story of the Star Wars universe and things like that. And he was pretty young too, but he had some health issues. He's also got a bunch of other books too, Double Jeopardy, Wrath of the Princes, and a bunch of other Star Wars novels other than the X-Wing series. Fate of the Jedi is one of his latest ones. Legacy of the Force, The New Jedi Order, and he's also done a couple Terminator novels. So he's been very good at writing some great stuff.
What was his name again?
Aaron Allston.
So right, check it out.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll see those books later. And then I'll be at Anime Boston, so hopefully have a report next month for Anime Boston. And in April is the Southern New England Quidditch Tournament, so I'll be reporting from that too.
All right.
So stay tuned for those in next month's show.
Sounds good. That's it. All right. Thank you, James. Okay, let's move on. You ready, Jay? Let's move on to the wonderful world of toys, props, and other
stuff, man!
Dude!
Where we talk about the wonderful world of tchotchkes and all these other great things.
So there's 4 of the X-Wing novels that I have written by Aaron Allston. One's Way Squadron, the next one's Iron Fist, Solo Command, and I can't remember the last one there. But anyway, the artwork too is great on the covers. X-Wings, and there's one with the Millennium Falcon because Han Solo's in that story.
Cool.
Way Squadron and the X-Wing Rogue Squadron. There was also some comics from Dark Horse of the Rogue Squadron, so you want to check those out too.
We have a copy of The Hobbit, which my daughter has become addicted to, which is cool.
Oh,
we have
poor
Star
thing.
Trek Facts in the middle. FAQ, and then we have the Doctor Who Character Encyclopedia.
That is a good book.
And with
Doctor
50
Who.
years of Doctor Who, there's a lot of neat stuff in
Oh,
that book.
yeah.
And there's still lots of Star Trek fans and new Star Trek fans too. So, there's lots of good tidbits in that one.
Yep, good.
Oh, Star Trek, we miss you.
And the Marvel Encyclopedia.
Hmm.
This was a Christmas gift to me from my beautiful wife, Barbara.
And she is beautiful. Okay.
And this has everything you wanted to know about the Marvel universe.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything. Including
Well,
Guardians
everything
of the
up to
Galaxy?
the printing.
Right. Which changes, yeah. Comic book characters.
Even Magneto's shoe size.
There you go. And what else we got? All right, Star Trek ice trays. Yay. If you are
Star
real-
Trek the ice cube tray.
Who would know?
Star Trek the napkin dispenser.
Star Trek the flamethrower. The kids love that one. Yep, those are Star Trek ice trays. It's got the command insignia if you really want to be geeky about it. So I suppose you could put a little food coloring in there if you really wanted to. But anyways, I got that as a...
I wonder if these are suitable to make chocolates with.
You might, yeah.
Yep,
yeah.
chocolates.
Is it a
Jell-O
silicone mold?
It's a silicone mold.
Yeah, yeah.
Chocolates.
Jello shots.
That's or Jello shots. There you go.
I'll bring the rum. I've got a pomegranate nice rum at home. Let's
Sounds like
do
a
it.
plan. All right,
This
so
is a
that's it
family
for choice
show.
props and other stuff. Okay, if you want to get in touch with us, where's my paper? Where's my paper? Where's my paper? Here we go. Contact us. Our website is www.risfc.org. You can get information if you're local, if you live in the Rhode Island area. Please come to a Rhode Island Science Fiction Club monthly meeting. We do all sorts of stuff. We go to movies, and we have game nights, and we do potluck dinners, and lots of fun.
Yeah, we had almost standing room only at the last meeting,
We
too.
did.
Really?
We did.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
It'll be pretty neat.
When's the next one?
April 12th.
April
All
12th.
right.
So as we're shooting, coming up in April.
Yep. Well, we do movies as well. So we'll be going to see Captain America and Divergent and all that other good
Spider-Man.
stuff.
We
Spider-Man, all
we
that
will
stuff.
get our
X-Men.
level 5 geek on for
That's
Captain
right.
America.
Okay. Any hellos that you want to say to anybody before we go? Any shout outs or anything? Absolutely not. Okay. We have to give a shout out to Adam Tuckman, who is not here today as we tape because it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Adam Tuckman, Rhode Island Science Fiction Club longtime member and Sci-Fi Journal crew person. He's usually behind the cameras. Sometimes he's in front of the camera when he talks about Cthulhu.
Oh.
Right? Does a Cthulhu segment every year.
He is off to India.
That's right. Hey, what else?
And we got to say hi to Mariah, who has she's visited the club.
Right.
And she's an aspiring writer. And I want to just say hi to her and her family.
Hey, good luck.
Keep watching. And stop by and see us again at the next meeting.
That's right.
I'm bringing the guacamole for the next meeting.
I'd like to say hi to all of our viewers up in the northern states that have been inundated by snow. All of our viewers in Maine, New Hampshire, Michigan, and places like that.
Okay.
We're being
and
seen.
even Georgia, down in Fulton County.
Even Georgia?
Georgia.
Hey! Got hit by ice and snow this year. So.
Send me up some of that white lightning.
Eat a peach, Georgia.
How does it feel, Georgia?
Stay safe. You people get crazy on the roads
Now
when
you know
there's
what we
ice.
go through every year. Okay, that's going to be
Whoa.
it for this April 2014 edition of Sci-Fi Journal. Next month we will be at Free Comic Book Day, but you won't see that until June. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next month. Bye. Bye.